Our church produces for all people, no matter your age, skin color, relationship status, income, ability, or past. If you have a pulse, then you have a purpose. My name is Chris, and I'm here to share with you some stories that God is telling through our church. First, you'll get to hear from Sean and Christy, who participated in our last Rooted session. They will share how God worked through their group time, even on a virtual platform. Then you'll get to hear from one of our Be the Bridge leaders, Bradley, and his heart for this powerful course. So let's go, church.
What's up, guys?
Hey, Kyle.
Hey, Kyle.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. So we are here on a virtual Zoom call with Christy and Sean, and these lovely individuals just went through our last Rooted course, which was online because of COVID and everything changing. So we just thought we'd have a little bit of a conversation, talk about their experience and what God's been doing in their heart for the last 10 weeks. So how's that sound, guys?
Sounds great.
Cool. So it's one thing to make a decision to jump into Rooted, but especially to do it during COVID when everything seemingly is changing and the world's kind of falling apart. So why did you guys choose to do Rooted when you did? I'd love to know why.
So I had done Rooted this last fall, and I was a participant in one of the groups, and God really put on my heart that it was time for me to lead a group, which I have done previously before I moved to Canton. And so it's just a big passion of mine, and definitely a spiritual gift I feel like I have of encouragement and leading. And so it was just a really great way for me to jump in and meet new people as I am newer to Canton, and just kind of encourage people and be encouraged. It was definitely more so, if not equal, to me to just be a part of a group that we could connect, and we all kind of were going through a crazy time together since we're all in this together, and just meet some new people and know that these are relationships that when we do get to meet in person, it's not going to be like that awkward first date stage. It's going to be like, oh, we already know each other, and just kind of continue to grow from there. So God definitely brought a wide range of people to our group, even some from out of town and out of state. So it was just a really cool blessing to be able to build and start new relationships that I may never have if it wasn't open to even people that weren't a part of our church yet. So it was really cool.
I love that. What about you, Sean?
Well, like we talked about, 2020 has been absolutely crazy earth-wise, pandemic, coronavirus. But 2020 for me spiritually has been the greatest year of my life. I was baptized at the church. It was actually the first weekend the church was closed when everything started really getting crazy. And Sean came in and actually baptized me and another young man who was going to the military. And it was such a special day. And it showed me not only how much the church cared about me, but how much God cared about me to get me there. And just really, the baptism was amazing. I've never felt so much love and power from the experience. So Rooted was just, and thanks to her encouragement, Rooted was just the next step for me. It was the next step to really propel myself into my walk with God. And it kept it intentional, but it also kept my heart on fire for him and the life I want to live. And so Rooted, yeah, I mean, it was something I committed to, and Christy helped me through it, and I loved every single week of it, every 9 weeks with the guys, and I'm really glad I joined.
I love that, man. That's perfect. So also, it's one thing to do Rooted. Like, you're super vulnerable. You're talking about life experiences with others and people that are virtual strangers, really. Like, you don't really know them or know their heart. And then to do that on top of that, but like in their living room, like you're seeing where they're at, like, what was that experience like for you, Sean, doing Rooted but through a virtual platform?
Yeah, 2020 has really made us all get up with technology. So when you're sitting there in front of a camera or a computer, it's kind of, I don't want to say awkward, but it can be when you're actually like being intimate and having conversations that are tough. You get emotions are rolling, and God is present, which is the thing that puts you at ease. His presence, the Holy Spirit, and the guys that you just build that trust with, your computer almost becomes them. Your living room becomes the church. And you go in there and you just, each week you share and you listen and you pray for each other. And I guess it was weird the first week or two, but then you just get so used to it and you look forward to being with the guys, And I really looked at that as it was kind of just an experience where you got used to it and it became, just like you were in person, and it was really just an experience that and like Chrissy said, wide range of people, but we all got used to it. We all adapted, and God definitely moved us forward in the Rooted journey. So we got used to it real quick.
I love that. That's perfect. So Christy, I would love for you to kind of just put the icing on top of the cake, I guess, if you will. Like if you could talk to yourself 10 weeks ago, or even before you did your first Rooted session, or maybe that individual right now is just looking for a way to grow in their relationship with God, to go deeper, to meet other believers and grow in fellowship, what would you encourage them, and why do you think Rooted's a good option?
So I definitely think, one, our church is amazing, and we have an incredible support staff. And being a leader, I know the training that the Rooted leaders go through. So it's not just they're pulling some Joe Schmo off the street, but it really is an incredible way that they enable us to encourage everyone else in the group. But also, it's 10 weeks of your life. I mean, if you're alive for 80 years on this earth, what's 10 weeks? So anybody can do anything for 10 weeks. And if it's not for you, that's fine. You don't have to choose to continue after the 10 weeks. But if it is, then you have the choice to become a life group and continue to encourage and grow with each other. So my advice is definitely give it a try. What's 10 weeks? You can do anything for those 10 weeks. And then I definitely think too, it's whatever you put into it's what you're going to get out of it. So if it's something where you definitely intentionally want to grow and you want to continue to have God become more of a part of your life, and you want to sit down and do those readings and make it intentional and answer the questions honestly, it's definitely going to bring some amazing truths out for you. And being able to do that with other people who are also growing and might have some different viewpoints that are going to make you look at things differently or teach you things you never would have found yourself. So it's definitely a way to open yourself up to something new and just hang out with cool new people.
I love that. I think that's perfect. Well, thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to sit here and do another Zoom call to add to your plethora I'm sure you've been doing recently.
Awesome. Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you guys for taking that next step, and I look forward to see you guys back in the building soon.
Gotcha.
Perfect.
All right, we'll see you soon, guys. See ya.
See you, Kyle.
So last summer, my wife and I were able to take a Be the Bridge course here at FCC, and it was great. It challenged me on a lot of the things that I had been thinking over the years, and I always said I wanted to do it again if I could. I wasn't expecting to end up leading a course, but here we are. So Be the Bridge is about racial reconciliation and unity from a biblical standpoint. And it's based on Latasha Morrison's book of the same name. And if you're in a Be the Bridge group, one of the things that they ask each person to bring in is what they call the centerpiece. And it's your why for taking the course. And so for me, mine was twofold. First is this piece of Lenca pottery, which is from Honduras, and it represents my very first mission trip to Honduras and how God used that to shape me and my ideas of what the kingdom of God really is and how it includes people that are vastly different than us, people who walk and speak and live very different than we do here in Northeast Ohio. And the other part of my centerpiece is this doodle a friend of mine made of my family. Half of my family is Latino, which are minorities in this area. And so I've always wanted them to be a part of a church where it's not just full of white people. There are, it's a welcoming place for blacks and Asians and Latinos where we can all come together equally, loving each other in unity the way God intended, everyone created in the image of Christ. If you're a Christian, we can no longer stay silent about things that are going wrong in society and with our fellow brothers and sisters. We need to go beyond the golden rule, which says, do unto others as you would have them do to you. I wouldn't want someone to say anything disparaging of me or treat me badly in any way. So many times we think that if I don't say that, if I don't say certain words, or if I don't physically hurt somebody else, then I'm okay and there's nothing more required of me. But I think we need to take that a step further to what some people call the platinum rule, which is where Jesus tells us, love others as I have loved you. It's that agape love that's based in action. It's a love that does something. Love others as I have loved you. Jesus came to serve and not be served. And if we fully embrace that commandment, if we embrace that platinum rule and we love other people the way Jesus loved us, that's how we help solve the problems of race and sin and hatred in this country. And that's how we become a welcoming church that is truly for all people. And that's the kind of thing that I want for my family.
This year has not gone the way any of us anticipated, but He is still working and still moving. Where is He directing you? You have a blank page, a fresh start, and maybe it's finally time for you to take the next step in your faith. If you're ready for what's next for you at First Christian, please visit the Hub in person this weekend or go to hub.firstchristian.com to learn more. Let's do this together. Let's grow in our faith. Let's love the people God has placed in our paths and get the word out that Jesus is for all people.